Hello again everyone, welcome back and welcome to another episode of Landric Plays. Today I'm going to be playing some more Darkest Dungeon, and last time we did our first medium length dungeon and it went fine up until we ran out of food and everyone started starving to death. So yeah, it could have been better planned, but it sort of went okay in the end. Everyone took quite a lot of stress damage. You can see Reynold here stacked up some, Columbia's stacked up some, they got a lot of diseases as well, so it didn't go fantastically, but in the end we came back with more treasure, more heirlooms, and we're still well on our way to building up the hamlet and attempting the Darkest Dungeon. Ah, fantastic. So speaking of diseases and whatnot, Mussart went in to cure a disease, and we got lucky. He actually got cured of both of the diseases he was suffering from, not just one, so that was fantastic. That frees up a little bit of space to put in these guys. We've also unlocked two new buildings in the hamlet. We've unlocked the Survivalist and the Nomad Wagon, so I think that's because we did our first medium-length dungeon, so let's take a look at those. Let's take a look at the Nomad Wagon first. So this is simply just a shop where we can buy some trinkets.
And charms gathered from all the forgotten corners of the earth.
So 15,000 gold. That's half of our gold, more than half of our gold, which is a crazy amount. But look at this. It's a rare charm. It gives plus 8 speed, plus 5 crit, and then minus 3 speed. So, you know, it's not without its disadvantages, but that could definitely come in handy. A Jester's Tambourine. So minus 25 stress if the torch is above 75, plus 15 stress if it's below, plus 20% stress healed. So that's pretty useful, but I think it's a bit too early to start spending money on these. Later on, of course, we can spend some more crests in this case to increase the number of available trinkets and to reduce the cost. So honestly, I'm probably not going to buy any trinkets until we've filled quite a way along this, and this is not going to be high on my list of upgrade priorities. I'm going to focus more on like the guild and the blacksmith.
At home in wild places, she is a stalwart survivor and a strict instructor.
Yes, she is. So the Survivalist lets us upgrade and it lets us choose new camping skills. So if you remember from last episode, when we camped in the middle of the dungeon, we each got to use some of our skills during the course of camp. So we got to use a skill that burned off some stress, for example, or bandaged somebody's wounds, or made sure there were no ambushes during the middle of the night, which would have been very, very, very bad indeed. I think also you have, so if we take a look at, say, Reynold here, just in the same way that you can have 4 of your skills active here, you can have 4 camping skills active here, but we only start with 3, so it's not actually a bad idea if we do another medium run, if we actually unlock some of these extra skills. We don't have to unlock all of them, but at least having 4 would give us slightly more options when we camp. So I think, you know what, I think I'm actually going to just spend 15 of these crests straight away.
Alone in the woods or tunnels, survival is the same. Prepare, persist, and overcome.
Prepare, persist, and overcome, exactly. So I'm just going to spend some of those crests there for now, so when we come back to that later, things will be a little bit cheaper to upgrade. Do I want to upgrade any of these stress relief buildings? Nah, of course, I just spent all of the crests I would need to do that. Oh well, so maybe not the best prepared, not that one. Let's have a look at the tavern. Okay, maybe spending those crests straight away was a little bit premature, but I've got enough to upgrade the bar at least, because we are definitely going to need to put. So let's sort this by stress. So Columbia is here, definitely, absolutely no question. Even though she's disease, has to burn off some of that stress first before we send her out again. Tippler, and in town she's only going to drink, so she has to go in the tavern, in the bar. So it's lucky we upgraded that actually, so we'll just lock that in straight away. Ballad, the yips, minus 5 accuracy. Maybe that was why you were missing so often. So the obsessed with killing's not really come up much. I think it's a bit like Reynold's kleptomania. He'll be forced to interact with certain items in the dungeons. So I'm not that worried about leaving that one, but the yips we might get rid of later. But there's nothing right here that prevents him from different stress release options, so he's a jester, he's good with dice, so I'll just put him in the gambling hall. And Reynold. God-fearing. He will only pray for stress relief. He's actually not got that much of it, but we've got enough gold. I think I'm just going to stick him in here, just so that we've got one of our sort of more experienced party members like on fighting fit for the next time. Dismas I think has got he's only got, what's he got? 35 stress, which isn't fantastic, but I think it's sort of getting towards my like minimum threshold for how much I care about giving him some immediate stress relief. We might just wait for another one of those town events that will hopefully burn off a little bit. Instead, what I'm going to do with Dismas is put him in the medical ward and cure the fits, because it does give him +3 speed, but it gives him -5 accuracy and -5 crit. And there's no point going first if you can't hit anything, and especially if you can't hit it hard. So I'm going to get rid of that. Only costs us 750 gold, but it does mean he's it's just a rash. Why you need the knife? So it only costs 750 gold, but it does mean he's out of commission for a week. So I think this time we're probably going to go on a shorter run. Probably going to get some more experience for our B team, if you like. Ooh, and if we have a look at the estate map, we have unlocked our first boss, so we can go and kill the Swine Prince. So you see each of the bars above each of these dungeons. The more time we spend in a dungeon, the more this bar fills up, and the more progress we make towards unlocking and hopefully killing one of the bosses. Okay, so because we've just put most of our A-team in the... I say most of the A-team, mostly Reynold and Dismas are sort of under strict orders to rest and recoup. The others, I don't know if they make the A-team yet. But yeah, I don't think we're going to attempt this today. I think... do I want to do another short run, or do I want to do another medium one? I think we can probably take another medium one, as long as I remember to take enough food this time. So I'll sort of decide who I want to pick, and then maybe we'll go back to town and sort of upgrade a couple of things here and there. So I think we definitely want Drew, just because, and we want her at the front, not there. So, yeah. She's afraid of Unholy, but... Oh. And she gets -3% crit on range skills, but she doesn't have any range skills, so that's fine. +10 versus human, so actually being in the Weald is good, because I think we occasionally get bandits in there. So yeah, you're definitely coming. Who else? Yolland, I remember being relatively good. Hates Eldritch. I don't know if some of the fungus things we get in the Weald count as Eldritch. They probably do, actually. So we definitely want to take you. I think we'll take Tangsok as well, just for a little bit more experienced healing. And who else do we want to take? I feel like we should take another sort of melee character. Probably Mussart. He's another Eldritch Slayer as well, so hopefully... And actually he's got the same sort of flaws as Drew. He doesn't have any range skills, so that's fine, I'm happy leaving that in there. This actually looks a pretty good setup. Have we got any trinkets that we can use? So we've got our Bloody Herb that we got last time. Not taking a Plague Doctor right now, so we don't need to assign that yet. And we've got a Speed Stone. So who do we want acting sort of first in our team? Tempted to give it to Drew, just so she's a little bit quicker. In fact, yeah, speed 5. You've got a speed of 1. You've got a speed of 3. You've got a speed of 5. So your speed's actually already quite good. Maybe we should give it to Mussart. In fact, I think that's what we'll do. There we go. And I think your speed increases as we upgrade your weapons as well. So, with that in mind, let's... can we upgrade any of your skills yet? Nope, still can't upgrade that. Oh, that's right. We unlocked this because we can sort of move their skills around, but I think the skills we've got are actually pretty alright. We don't need to play with those. We might want to upgrade them later, but we need a couple more crests for that. What do we want? The blacksmith. We're going to just make sure everyone's got some good weapons. Just invest a little bit in our squad. There we go. So this is for... Oh, okay, it's got them side by side there. So yeah, it just improves the crit and damage. It doesn't improve the speed yet. Is this? Yeah, just crit and damage again. That's fine. I'm certainly not gonna complain about more crit and more damage. Right, I think I'm happy with that. Is there anything we want to do before we leave? Stagecoach. Can we afford a stagecoach upgrade? Nope. Still, okay. Yeah. So there's a lot of things we want to spend crests on. And I thought we came back with quite a lot last time, but obviously not enough. So, and now we get deeds, of course we do. But hopefully we'll find some crests while we're out there. So let's hit provision. We took 12 food last time, and 12 food wasn't enough. It wasn't even nearly enough, actually. I think we definitely want to take at least 8 more. I could push it to 12, but no, that'll be fine. I don't want to burn into our gold supplies too much, because we're gonna have to provision for the next one as well. I'm gonna take 2 spades. $12 torches will probably be enough, hopefully. What else have we got? I could take another bandage because it'll stack with this one, but I think 1 will be enough. I'm going to take one anti-venom, 1 medicinal herbs, and a key. So sort of spread things out a bit. So we've got basically 1 of each. Hopefully that'll be fine. Yeah, that looks fine. I don't think we've forgotten anything. We've still got the firewood so we can camp. That gets put in automatically. Okay, so each region has its own challenges. Assemble your party and supplies accordingly. Yep. So in the Weald, most things can't be damaged by blight, I think, or bleed. I don't remember. This is not preparing carefully, but it's fine.
I knew all these paths once. Now they are as twisted as my own ambitions.
So mostly I think our party deals direct damage, except for Drew, who can do a little bit of bleed as well. So mostly they're fine. So we only have to... Oh, blimey. So this is a bit of a longer dungeon. We have to explore 90% of rooms. So obviously we're going to have to go this way to start. Hopefully we'll get a scout here and we'll be able to see if these rooms have monsters in or between them. And I guess we'll make our decision where we go then. So let's start off by going this way. So we know there's going to be a battle straight away, which, you know, is never good, but there's always going to be battles happening, and I'd rather they happen when we're fresh and ready for them. Here we go. Yeah, these things do count as Eldritch, because they're weird, goopy ectoplasm things. I think we just pile on some damage there. So they're debuffed, they're sort of like suppressing fire, that's what we've got. We use a wicked hack on the damaged one. They're gone. Can we stun these guys? 50% chance of stunning, so I think we'll just try and deal some more damage. Ooh, a crit. Good. So far so good, and we've got 1 attack left to hopefully kill this guy in 1 hit. Boom, there we go. That is how I like my battles to go.
These nightmarish creatures can be felled. They can be beaten.
Okay, so we've got a trap ahead of us, and Drew, you're one of the best at getting rid of this, so disarm those mushrooms. There we go. So we didn't have any stress to heal off, and in fact we took some just from walking forwards, which is a bit of a shame.
A fortune waiting to be spent.
I would not call 25 gold a fortune, but okay. Maybe to the peasants in the hamlet, but not to us. We are of noble stock, of course. We are rightfully reclaiming our fortune. Okay. So, these rooms are both empty, and it doesn't look like there's any battles in between them. There is an obstacle, which will cost us 1 of our shovels, but I'm going to go this way, just so that we've ticked 2 more rooms off the list. So we get our first hunger event. Glad we've got enough food this time, or hope we've got enough food this time. And by ticking these 2 rooms off of our list first, maybe we'll get to finish early. So there could be a horrible battle in this one, but by doing these rooms we skip that. Or maybe that one's empty too, who knows.
Nature herself, a victim to the spreading corruption.
Whoops.
Malformed with misintent.
I meant to click on the shovel, not on the tick. I thought because the shovel was there, ticking would sort of automatically use it, but no. Whoops. Okay, so we didn't waste a shovel, we just took some damage and stress for no reason. Oh well. What do we got here? Ancient remains, the body looks well preserved. I think we have to use one of these things to search this safely, and I think it's bandages. That's right, it gives us protection for a thorough search.
Staunch the flow of otherworldly corruption.
Speaking of protection, we found a protection stone, which gives us +5 protection, which sort of negate... It's a bit like armor, it sort of negates some incoming damage. So I'm tempted to give that to you. You do have the speed stone, so these will sort of cancel out and just give you a flat 5% protection. I could give it to Drew, because she's already got very high speed. But I mean, thematically, I just like the armoured guy having the protection. I quite like taking advantage of Drew's speed as well. Get in some good hits right at the start of a fight. As I keep saying, the best defense is a good offense.
Clear. We require only the strength to follow it.
Up to a certain point, at least. Ooh, so a battle's appeared just here. So anytime you're retracing your steps, I think you've got a chance of like wandering into patrolling monsters. Or in this case, bandits. So let's just straight away drop a stun on you.
As the light gains purchase, spirits are lifted.
Okay, good choice for a stun.
This is made clear.
So that was a good choice for a stun, because he went next. Maybe I should have used it on one of these Fusiliers at the back, because they do deal like quite a lot of damage and stress party-wide, but these do a lot of single-target damage, so I'm happy with how that went. Go straight for the Wicked Hack, we might get lucky and kill him. What's Iron Swan? Oh, Iron Swan's for the back line. It's not a bad idea using that, actually. Yeah, we've got a better chance of killing him, and like I say, they do a lot of party-wide damage. Let's go for that. Ooh, perfect, full damage, and that's him gone. Less fantastic, but you know, it's still 5. Ooh, 5 damage is still 5 damage, but an enemy crit is still an enemy crit. See, a lot of single target damage. I think I should be more worried about that. Is there any way... it's only self-bleed that cures. Alright, let's go back for this. Ugh. You don't have anything that bandages yourself, do you? And I've already used up our bandages searching a corpse. Not fantastic. Suppressing fire again. It's only going to do 2 to 3. It does 2 to 3 actually, so as long as this hits, it'll kill him. And it'll deal some damage to this guy as well. And at the least debuff him.
Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
Yeah, that went alright. Let's see if we can get a stun on you. You're going to have to clear this path. Maybe I should have used her to heal rather than stun, but... oh, it's okay, she gets another turn. So good, we're going to just do a direct heal on you. 6 is a good number. Ooh, 1 damage per round for 4 rounds though, that is a lot. Especially if it's already been ticking. How much did he put on her?
Maintain the offensive.
I wonder if the crit stacks with the bleed, that would be pretty poor. It's a little bit annoying that we can't heal out of combat as well. But you know, that's why we brought a healer along in the first place, just so we can make sure everyone's topped off like in the middle of battle. So we're back at the fork here. So we've got a battle, curio, and a treasure room. So battle. A couple of skeletons. So these are unholy, which I think some of them are afraid of. So they're going to take a little bit more stress this fight, and you're bleeding straight off the bat. Not fantastic. I think this dog is actually I think they're sort of the priority target here rather than skeletons.
Executed with impunity.
So do I risk... I think I risk the heal and hope Reynold goes before the skeleton. Or if not, the skeleton does. Okay, there we go. Bam.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all.
That's the thing, you do extra damage to Unholy even if you're scared of them, because you've got Smite. So, you know, that's not too bad. What have we got here? Huge hole in the tree. Let's pour some anti-venom in it. Wait, protects against poisonous sap, so we get some medicinal herbs in return. And some heirlooms. Good. So, sort of some free heirlooms there.
May we find victory.
We just trade one item type for another, and it stacks better as well. So we've got more room for treasure. Fantastic. Okay. Let's focus some fire on this guy, because I think we'll be able to take him out quite easily. Ah, you won't be able to hit him. So let's go for this one. Why not? In fact, that's right. You can stack that there.
Give them no quarter.
And then Mussart can... That'll kill him, yeah? Yeah. Use Zealous Accusation there and deal some damage across both of them. 0 damage, but a mark and a debuff. And run the marked, of course. Oh, and it does a crit. I wonder if it's guaranteed a crit. I don't think so, but that was still quite unlucky. We'll take you out as soon as we can. Wait, you're going... Oh, yeah. Okay. At least they both resisted that Rain of Blight. That would have been pretty bad. You can't reach him, which isn't great, so maybe you should do something about these corpses. But I think, again, we're just going to use you as just a healer now. That's why we've got an Arbalest. We can still deal some nice damage to the back line. These two are going to have to hack their way through the corpses at the front. And in the meantime, yeah, that's going to keep doing blight damage. But there we go. We'll clear a path. Oh, hang on. It's a shame. It's a shame Drew wasn't going first, because otherwise she would have used Iron Swan. So now she still can't damage it. Goddamn. Oh well. I don't think there was a way around that other than having Mussart skip his turn. So that'll give us a bit of a self-heal and do some damage at the same time, which is nice. And then pow. A lot of gold there, and another shovel. We haven't used one yet.
Pride precipitates a dizzying fall.
And some more heirlooms. Brilliant. Stack those torches up as well. So are we about halfway there yet? It looks like we're about halfway there, so maybe I'll rest when we get here. I might see if we get a scout and see what's next, because I like resting just before we get to a fight, just so all our buffs last that little bit longer. Or rather, on the other hand, sometimes it's nice resting right after a tough fight, because then you're a bit more wounded, you get a bit more mileage out of some of those healing skills. And we're doing okay for now, actually. I think we can afford to keep pushing on. Especially if there's no fights like this. Ooh. A grave dug in haste. Well, let's dig it up. Grave digging pays off sometimes.
Measure, awarded to the brave and the foolhardy alike.
So you do actually get a Gravedigger class at one point, and they are quite fun.
Laden with loot are often low on supplies.
See, we're going to have far too much food this time, but you know, that's the way of it. Sometimes you're over-prepared, sometimes you're under-prepared. At least we're not starving to death this time, because we do have quite a few rooms left to go. So I think we go all the way up to here and then camp. Another thing, we don't have any bandages. We could risk it, we've got enough health. I'm sure we can soak whatever happens. Or just nothing, fine. So I think a lot of these curios, you've got a percentage chance of something bad happening or something good happening. There we go, keep the torchlight up.
The match is struck. A blazing star is born.
One day we are going to have to let it sort of drop down here until we so we can find more treasure, but I'm still a little bit nervous about doing that. The higher the risk, the higher the reward and all that, but I do like keeping my my party members alive. I'd like to do that for as long as possible. Good, another surprise seed, so hopefully we'll take some of these out before they get a chance to act. In particular, these two at the back, who are going to be dealing a lot of stress damage. Because I can heal regular damage quite nicely. Have a much harder time healing stress damage in combat, so I think Jester is the only person I can think of off the top of my head that can do it. I'm sure there are probably some others. See, the problem is I have split my damage again a little bit, so I'm not going to be able to take any of them out on this turn. Could go for a stunning blow. I think that might be a good idea, actually. Yeah, that was probably worthwhile. Wait until everyone can focus on one target. So you're stunned, and you won't do any damage, but you're going to stress everyone out. Which, you know, we can soak right now. This is partly why I wanted to wait for a bit until we camp, because we can afford to build up a little bit of stress if we've got a camp coming up. Okay, they are sort of focusing Mussart, which isn't great, so if you please. Oh. So close yet so far. He's low enough that I don't actually want to waste all of Drew's damage on them. I think I'm going to start focusing on this front line. Can you reach? No. Ooh, you can just about with Judgment, so there you go. Ah dear, he's a lucky, a lucky madman. Alright, so you two focus on the back line, you two focus on the front line. Sort of splits our damage in half, but right now that's the only sort of pair that we can reach. That is mounting up quite a bit now though. There we go. Pop. That does a little bit of healing as well, which is useful. So I'm going to leave you and trust Mussart that his Zealous Accusation will take them both out, and I'm going to go for you instead. Maybe even put a little bit more damage on you, just so that Zealous Accusation does a little, or has a higher chance of killing both of them. 3 to 6, so it should kill you and it might kill you. Close. Got rid of one of them at least. A little split mushroom head. Ooh. Okay, so you pulled them straight to the front, which means they're probably useless right now. Let's kill this guy before he attacks. Wow, Drew's actually taking a beating. I sort of had been a little bit unaware of that. So heal 1 HP and give a small buff. No, not worth it, we'll just move you. Blind fire. Wow, okay. That was lucky.
Success so clearly in view.
So it says random target, but I just
trick of the light.
Selected one. I guess I have to select one to activate it, so I got super lucky that it actually hit the one target I like. Maybe it can't target corpses, I don't know. Okay, we've got another journal page, let's read that. The Blackest of Fates. Okay. Our purpose was to desecrate their animalistic shrines and thus disperse the swine folk. So this is probably from the Warrens. But soon we came across an of course you came across an artifact. This was far beyond the crude fetishes crafted by the pigmen. It looked as if obsidian had been grown and twisted into a dark symbol of worship. It cradled a pulsing red orb, we've seen one of these before, glowing with malevolent light. Cuthbert, Berlin and I hesitated, but thrice-down Mizir, driven by crazed impulse, thrust his torch into a hidden receptacle and thus sealed our fate. So you remember that journal page we found last episode that was describing what happened straight after they did this? Lots of sort of rending of limbs and tentacled horrors and things like that. Yeah, that's why we didn't activate this shrine yet. We might come across another one later, we might try it out, I don't know. But yeah, no tentacled horrors for us just yet. Just swap back into default party order. So we've got another battle coming up. I'm actually just going to use 2 of this food on Drew, just to try and keep her away from Death's Door. Ooh, okay. These guys do a lot of bleed damage, and I think they can cause disease as well. Yeah, there we go, there's some bleed. So now actually, ooh dear. So now actually will be an excellent time to camp, because I think some of our skills will... You remember how when I upgraded our survivalist and said, oh, I should absolutely... Yeah, I'm going to spend all of our crests on this so we can unlock more healing skills, more camping skills, and then forgot to do it? Yeah, that was silly of me, wasn't it? Oh well, there's always next time. That's probably going to happen a lot through this series. I'll do something and then immediately forgot that I've done it. Oh well. It's fine, we'll still have 3 skills each, and it'll probably be more than enough. It just means we've got slightly less choice about what we get. Good, 1 down. So they've not acted yet. There we go. More bleed, more chance of disease, and the bleed will stack. but they're actually relatively squishy. They only have 10 hit points each. Probably shouldn't have used the rain of arrows. I probably should have just aimed at a single target. At least we got a dodge there. There we go. There we go. That's much better. Still wouldn't have killed him if it was at full hit points though, so I'm happy with the way it went. And let's check this tent.
So too will resistance.
Cool, we got a map. So we can actually afford to move up a little bit more before we camp. So let's try that. Could even maybe risk this battle and then camp in this room here. Oop, hunger event. That'll give us a little bit more health. We've still got plenty of food this time. Much more comfortable with how much we've got. Running a little bit low on torches, but I think we'll be alright to get to the end. Do we risk this last battle? Actually, I think when we get to this room, we're probably done, because it's only 90% of rooms. So I think we camp now, take this battle with all of our buffs, and then decide whether we even want to bother looking at these rooms. Yeah, I think that's what we do. I think we just camp here.
A moment of respite. A chance to steel oneself against the coming horrors.
So straight away, I'm going to feast, which still leaves us with a full round of food and then some half rations to do like one room if we decide, and maybe 3 if we choose to. So let's look at our skills. So our Vestal this time has a different set of skills to last time. So you can heal, remove bleeding, chant if religious, minus 20% stress. So it does better on religious people like our Vestal and presumably our Crusader. Definitely not our Hellion. In fact, our Hellion has a special camping skill, Reject the Gods, which takes off minus 30 stress for her and gives everyone stress, and more so if they're religious. So I don't think we're going to do that this time, because we've got 2 religious characters. What else can we do? Pray. Okay, that's the reduced stress one. Pep Talk. 75% chance of healing for 35%. 25% chance of healing for 50%. So some more heal skills, and this one's a pretty good one. Marching Plan plus 2 speed, pretty good. Vigil presents nighttime ambush. So I think I'm going to use this one straight away because we haven't got any other skills that prevent a nighttime ambush, and they can be very, very deadly. So yeah, that was what I was looking for first. Something that just keeps us safe at night. Now we can worry about buffing people and removing stress. I think our stress is low enough that I'm not even going to bother trying to reduce it. If it happens to, then that's fine. But for now, I think I'm gonna spend a heal on. Can you self heal with this? No, 1 companion. But you can bandage somebody, so you'll heal 15%. How much of these can we split around? Okay, so we've actually got not. Okay, so you can bandage you. You can bandage you, which gives us time left to do this battle trance, which will give us a whole bunch of buffs if we're in position 1, which we are. Good, which finishes off the time very nicely. We can rest. And we'll let everyone sit around the fire, sort of rest, recuperate, try and get what sleep they can, and then hopefully we'll finish this. Dungeon. If this is our last battle and it's a really disappointing battle, I'm gonna be a little bit miffed that we waited so long to heal, but you know, to camp rather. But we didn't really need it; it was fine. And they're surprised. Good. So you can 9 to 17. Yeah, I reckon it's worth it. Bam, there we go. Because the stress damage from this will stick around. The bleeding damage from these won't. The rabies would, if they gave it to us, but they haven't yet. So I'm feeling lucky. Ooh, crit, nice. Again, a little bit of stress heal. Ooh, yeah, very nice. Okay, so this one gets to act, but you know, we got 3 of them on the first round. There's definitely nothing to complain about there. Only does 1 damage, they resist the bleed. Okay, so they get to act again. Still 1 damage, Doesn't resist the bleed this time, but okay, so call it 4 damage total. Absolutely not worried about that. There we go. Some more gold, some more medicine.
Seize this momentum.
Very nice.
Push on to the task's end.
So I think this might be the end of it. And so it is. So we'll continue adventuring. We'll take a look at... Do we get a scouting chance? We've got enough health that I'm actually just going to carry on anyway, because we might pick up some curios. We might pick up a treasure room if we're very lucky. Let's use some of the herbs. There's not a lot of resale value on these. Gives us 8 food. I don't know if that's a worthwhile trade, but... Ooh. So they've got a quirk that means they're forced to interact with this, but it gives them a positive quirk. Fantastic. So Yolanda's become resilient. Can we open your character screen from here? I don't remember if we can. Doesn't seem to be a way to do it, so we can't actually look at your quirks. That's a bit of a shame. Oh, no problem. So they were forced to interact with that because of one of their quirks, but it gave them a positive quirk anyway, so yeah, it's all good. This room's empty. Do we get a scout? So a trap, a curio, and another empty room. That is a bit of anticlimax, but you know what, I'll take it. So we get a tiny bit of stress relief from disarming that trap. Maybe there's some treasure in here. A map. Fantastic. We've fully explored everywhere, and we found a map. That wasn't useful. Oh well. Still, overall, that was a fantastic run. I think we did pretty well. We even still have like 14 food left. So it wasn't the last time I didn't bring enough food. It's just that I think we got unlucky with the number of hunger events, because this time we only took I think an extra. Did we take an extra 4 or an extra 8? Maybe we took an extra 8. But still, we'd have had plenty with the amount from last time.
Paths and roads bring soldiers and supplies. Let them arrive unharried.
Oh well. So we've got another 4,500 gold from the long quest, some deeds, a gambler's charm. So they've got more health, but they're less likely to survive a death blow if they receive one. So far, we've generally done a good job of keeping people above death's door. So this might actually be quite useful. And then a whole bunch of gold from reselling stuff here, and a couple more heirlooms. No crests this time, which is a bit of a shame. And 3 more quirks, and a whole bunch of XP. Brilliant. So let's have a look at these. Calm. Minus 15% damage on the first round. That's not good. We might have to get rid of that. Armor Tinkerer, that's fine. Minus 20% stress if torch is high, which replaces one of her other good quirks, because she'd sort of maxed out the amount she could have, but she's also acquired a creeping cough, 20% damage. So we're not using our Vestals as damage dealers very much anyway, so we might not prioritise healing this. Healing diseases is kind of cheap though, so we probably will in the end. But yeah, overall that was a very good run. It was very profitable. Thanks very much for watching it. I will see you all next time.